since this. What I do love is these album or mixtape reviews, getting these samples clear, getting whatever things need to get checked off and re-releasing them like Chance the Rapper did with Acid Rap, like for its anniversary. So I love when artists do this. So yeah.
Yeah, man, it's really cool, and I think that leads us into our next topic.
Yes, sir.
And that is favorite mixtapes.
Woo!
Now this is gonna be a good one because man, it's very hard to narrow. There's so many eras of mixtapes, and for us to both of us really have grown up, we grew up in the mixtape era, or what they sometimes some people call the blog era, but really it is the mixtape era. So let's go one by one and talk about some different mixtapes and why that one stands out to you when you're thinking about some of the most impactful or your favorite mixtapes.
That's tough. I'll say off the top of my head, Live Love ASAP.
Okay.
By ASAP Rocky. Joey Badass, 1999. That's
okay.
that was it for me at that time.
Okay.
Dream Chasers 1. I'll actually go Dream Chasers 1 by Meek Mill.
Okay.
Man, this is tough, bro.
But yeah, no, it's hard narrowing down. So we can just say a couple.
Okay,
and then so what was it about Long Live ASAP that did it?
I think Long Live ASAP made me recognize what was possible as like a hip hop listener, right? Like as a fan of a certain artist. And he's not the first to kind of tiptoe in other regional sounds, but I feel like ASAP at that time being a New York act, especially Harlem, you know what I mean? Like I grew up being a fan of Dipset and other like Max B and everything else. So to see ASAP come out and he's dipping into like the Houston chopped and screwed sound, or
it was different.
Doing like traditional boom bap, but then switching and do something entirely different. Like he just had this creativity that I really appreciated, and he was fly. Like he could dress, and he was just charismatic. So all those things combined, it just made me really just dive into that project a lot. And then his earlier work just like built on the momentum he had with songs like Peso or collaborations he did with Pharrell. So yeah, like I would say that's what it is for me. Another mixtape that comes to mind is Wiz Khalifa's Cushion Orange Juice.
Oh man,
bro,
let me tell you,
the
impact that Cushion Orange. That was actually one that I was gonna name.
Yeah,
Cushion Orange Juice. I remember I want to say I was in high school when that came out, and I remember, man, it had barbershops going crazy. And this is even in Chicago. It was just like everybody was playing that mixtape.
Yeah,
and it was just hard, bro. That was like, I had heard of Wiz Khalifa before that because I there was other songs of his that I had appreciated, but Cushion Orange Juice made me respect him a lot more as an artist.
For sure.
That was when I first heard some of the songs off that album. I was like, oh no, Wiz Khalifa has such a unique sound and style. Even when we had that conversation about accents, when you're talking about Wiz Khalifa and how he like almost overly enunciates words, you know what I mean? And he sounds completely different than everybody else. And yeah, man, it was different. Cushion Orange Juice was definitely a really impactful mixtape.
I got another one. This is a wild card. I don't think people are going to expect me to say this.
I want to hear it.
I would say Tyga's Well Done.
Oh, Tyga?
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Well
I've never listened to a Tyga mixtape, so I can't even say it's good or bad.
That man had it. Say whatever you want to say about him now. I can't defend him now. Like one thing you can say though, he comes out with a strip club hit.
He keeps a hit in the top.
He does. And so Well
absolutely.
Done. I think Well Done 2, one of those in the series. Like that's when he had kind of the strip clubs on lock. Like they were just
Rack City. Was that Rack City and all of that?
Rack City, all that, that entire
man.
era.
Okay.
Bro. Yeah, he had that on lock.
Yeah, no, Tyga has made some good music. I'm joking when I say that. Tyga actually has, as far as singles, he's a singles artist.
He's a singles artist.
You know, and every now and then he'll throw out a single and you like, oh man, he done came back and did it again.
Right.
So yeah, no.
Just when you thought he was out.
Just when you thought he was when you stop thinking about him. You like, I haven't, you don't even think about Tyga as a rapper anymore.
Not really, nah. Not nowadays. Nah.
He's not as active. At least maybe I'm just not seeing it or following it. But it doesn't seem like he's frequently like in the music scene anymore. Right. So yeah, man. I would have to say, so for starters, Cushion Orange Juice was gonna be one of mine. Friday Night Lights.
Oh wow! Can't believe I missed that. Yes.
By J. Cole, man, was just a masterpiece of a mixtape.
Absolutely.
From the ones that he rapped over, and rapping over R&B beats on top of that, and like more neo soul-y type songs. So taking neo soul songs and then rapping over them, for those were fire. But then also the original songs on there were also great. So it was like a mixture of him rapping over other people's beats and rapping off of original beats, and just like wonderful songs.
Yes.
And a lengthy mixtape with a bunch of great music on it. So I definitely would say Friday Night Lights. That kind of pushed J. Cole to another stratosphere once people heard Friday Night Lights. So I definitely would put that one there. The Drought 3 by Lil Wayne.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, let me tell you, man, that had the school going crazy.
Nuts.
I want to say I might have been maybe a freshman or sophomore in high school, and that was like the impact that had, and it really was because of the fact that he was rapping over more so like all the little commercial, little dancey type songs that were out at the time. He just went on there and just went crazy.
He was showing you what you could do with this beat.
It was so bad that people weren't even playing the original songs in Chicago anymore.
For real.
People were just playing the Wayne versions.
Yo.
There was usually if you heard Swag Surfing or any of those songs, they were playing Wayne's version. They weren't even playing the regular one for a while, for a long stint of time. Like Swag Surf has reemerged again now, but like at the time that was Wayne's song. Now this is his. Like I would say the Drought 3's impact was crazy, and he did that with a lot of his mixtapes, from Dedication 2, Drought 3. So I definitely Wayne, even No Ceilings, all of those. He went completely crazy on. I would also say Wale, More About Nothing.
Okay. I like that pick.
I loved it, man. And I'm not somebody who watched Seinfeld at all, but I thought it was very creative what he did with those skits and being able to implement those skits into the mixtape and the storyline. Like that was a really unique mixtape. When I first heard it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is different. So I definitely would have to put that in there as well. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else,
because
man.
I'm surprised you didn't say a Fab mixtape.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, let's go back.
Soul Tape, man.
Soul Tape. Man. Let's talk about it. Yes, sir.
Pick one. Anyone. The Soul Tapes, man. I don't know how I forgot Fab. The Soul Tapes were crazy.
Insane.
Bro. Fab is an interesting artist for me because he is one of the few artists who I truly like his mixtapes way more than his albums.
Way
more than his albums. Like by a long shot. It's not even like when I go back to Fab's music, I don't really, other than the singles from his albums, I don't really go back to Fab's albums. I go back to his mixtapes.
That's crazy.
So whenever I have like a itch to hear a Fabulous song, I'm going to Soul Tapes.
I don't know what it is. I feel like he's trying to cater to like too many audiences.
That's
but
exactly
when he goes to the Soul Tape, he's like placing his roots where he started. Like
Absolutely.
You hear that, just that Brooklyn inspiration that pours out of the songs that he
those heartfelt samples.
You feel me?
It's a completely different. It's way more traditional hip hop.
It's grittier too.
It's grittier as opposed to his albums are way more polished and way more mainstream sounding, which makes sense. I mean, that's what he's putting out for commercial consumption. But those Soul Tapes, man. Yeah,
that's peak Fab for me. There's just certain artists I think that we have to think about as just some of the greatest in mixtape artists as a whole. Fab is one of those for me. Wale is a pretty amazing artist when it comes to mixtapes. Like I feel like he doesn't get enough credit, period, but especially in the mixtape game. Who else? Wayne, obviously, J. Cole. I feel like we said
Also, correction. Swag Surfing was on No Ceilings. I meant Upgrade You.
Upgrade You.
Did you ever hear Wayne rap
maybe if I heard
after we leave here, I need you to listen to Wayne's freestyle to Upgrade You that he did off the Drought 3. Crazy.
Oh, I believe it.
I didn't even want to hear the Beyonce. Shout out to Beyonce and y'all.
Oh, so he flipped Beyonce joint?
The Upgrade You with Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yo, listen, to do that.
And rap the whole way, no hook, not rap the whole way through.
And to do that, you a different type of artist, bro.
Absolutely.
People can't upgrade you, bro. Come on now.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Can't do that. Yeah.
Wayne, and I think we've said this before, to me, Wayne is the best
mixtape
best mixtape
ever.
Ever.
I don't even think it's not that close, bro.
Because
it's not close, maybe. Period.
He just went on a run that I don't think we've ever seen, and I don't think we
Mm-hmm.
will ever see again.
Now I'll tell you somebody who tried to go on the same run, who made a respectful effort, and that's Future. Like when he pulled out Monster, he pulled out 56 Nights. He had a moment, but no moment was bigger than Wayne's moment. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, Future's music definitely had a big impact.
Beast
I know a lot of
Mode,
people who love Future. I have a love-hate relationship with Future's music.
Mm-hmm.
There's songs that I can't deny that are just that great that I'm like, especially like DS2. I was just like, bro,
DS2
like
is
this
amazing,
album
bro.
is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But Future's messaging is just wild. To
And
me.
it's the messaging is one thing for me, but even in that mixtape stretch, the quality wasn't always there, and for me, that's what holds him back. Like I would never compare him to like a Wayne as far as a mixtape artist or a J. Cole as a mixtape artist. Yours Truly too by Cole was one of my favorite.
I don't know
joints.
how I forgot.
Come on, man.
Man, let me tell y'all, Yours Truly too. If you have not heard Yours Truly too, please do yourself a favor.
Please, Kenny Lofton. What's the one where he flipped Lauryn Hill's song?
What's the name of it now? I need to look it up.
Yeah,
You're gonna have me do some research, but also 3 Wishes.
3 Wishes for sure. So
That album has some of the best. That mixtape has some of the best storytelling.
for sure.
It really from J. Cole, period, to me. Throughout his career.
That's high praise too.
Yeah, and J. Cole, of course, has a lot of albums with great storytelling, but for some reason, man, on Yours Truly too, you could tell he was really venting on that album.
Sure.
And you can feel it. I'm trying to look up the track list for Yours Truly too.
And so I can't compare Future to that. Only because
No,
like on certain
not.
portions of Beast Mode, I could
Can I Holla At You? That's what you're talking about?
maybe. I don't know.
I like all the songs. Tears for ODB,
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Lofton, Cole Summer, Chris Tucker. I really like the whole thing.
I forgot about Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
So many hits, man. So many dope moments in general. So, man,
Yeah.
And these bring me back. I'm thinking about them, and it's just bringing me back to certain moments, man. That's the power of mixtapes. Like, I don't feel like we feel that same thing today. That same moment, like that the mixtape era had on us. Like, it had a lot of us on the whole, because some of us young, we couldn't afford to buy an album. We couldn't afford to even pay for a streaming platform to stream it. You know what I mean? So mixtape era was so foundational for a lot of us younger fans.
And I was a LimeWire baby. It's finally passed the statute of limitations.
I was about to say, bro, you can say this openly, bro.
Yeah, it's past
been a minute, right?
It's past the statute of limitation. I'm in the clear, man. I was a LimeWire baby, man.
Yeah.
I was at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but mixtapes gave us the time to be able to just like consume music even
Mm-hmm.
outside of that. Like for us to be able to consume free projects like that. And artists, you can tell they had a different level of freedom and not as much label input with their mixtapes. So that's why I think a lot of artists, their mixtapes are better than their albums, just because of the fact that they were making the type of music that they wanted to make and just putting it out into the world without label input and labels trying to shape their songs. And no, we want it to be a little more commercial. Or like a lot of mixtapes, I feel like you got what the artist really wanted to put out to the world, which is gonna be their best art.
Yeah.
So the mix, man, it's sad now that we don't really get that.
I know. Like, I'm thinking about it now again, just how many mixtapes like impacted me.
But
But
now they're just putting out little EPs or little projects, but they're still like
or they're leaking songs now, and it just still doesn't have that same effect, because even at that time, the mixtape era, people were giving you still structured projects. You could tell they cared.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so like we don't get that now. Some of the leaked songs, cool, but like it doesn't have the same allure though.